Good news, though, DeAndre Hopkins back from a 6-game suspension for tonight. Bad news, Hollywood Brown out for at least a month. They thought maybe it was going to be a season ender. Robbie Anderson arrives from Carolina. They don't expect him to be able to do much after just getting there. I mean, he just played on Sunday until he was kicked off the sideline, and then he's traded to Arizona from Carolina. Kind of a turbulent week for Robbie Anderson.
Right.
I doubt that we're going to see much of him. We probably will see a lot of DeAndre Hopkins because he's one of those guys, too, that's got the physical superiority that, go ahead and call out the play.
Exactly.
Kyler's going to throw him the ball, and he's going to go get it.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe that's the biggest reason why they're 2-4. He doesn't have a guy like that he can use as a security blanket in the passing game.
No, Mike, I don't think you're wrong with that thought. Not that I think it puts them over the top and all of a sudden we go, oh, wow, the Cardinals are back. But I do think to what you're saying, he is one of those guys. The simplicity, whatever. But when in doubt, oh, wait, he's one-on-one. Let me just throw it up to him. And he'll catch it. I mean, he's the damnedest thing you've ever seen with being covered. He's going to go down as one of the greatest receivers ever with people around him and great hands and all of that. That's that's his bread and butter. So they have missed that. But to your point there, it's just a little too reliant, on my phrase, on the Jimmies and Joes. There's not enough X's and O's to help these guys out a little bit. Think about just a few weeks ago against the Eagles. It's a 3-yard pass over the middle to Hollywood Brown. He makes 4 guys miss and then run. I mean, that's how they score touchdowns. They get down the field. It's Kyler Murray. He finally broke a play, and he's the road runner running through the defense and got a 40-yard gain, and that got him down in the field goal position. It's very spotty with big plays, and part of that is Kliff Kingsbury. Part of that is I do want to say Kyler Murray's inability to push the ball down the field and make big throws in a crowded pocket. That's a real thing. And one of the things that's troubled him throughout his career is third down football. Last year was the best year he had. And that was one thing I remember going into last year. I was really saying it a lot on my podcasts and things like, Kyler Murray, the biggest issue, they got to get his biggest issue is third down football. When people know you're going to, throw the ball, they're more conscious of what you were talking about, keeping them in the pocket. And now third down's quarterback down. You got to be aggressive and make a big throw, usually into a tight window. And you see most of the teams that are really good on third down have a great quarterback. And that's another area that lacks for them. I mean, the fact that they're 28th in football and third down, that's embarrassing with some of the talent they have on that side of the ball. That's just not acceptable for a guy like Kyler Murray and some of the receivers they got.
We've talked about how simple and solvable the Arizona Cardinals offense has become. Kliff Kingsbury recently addressed the possibility that he would give up the responsibility of being the one who calls the plays. Let's have a listen to what he said on that subject.
I'm open to anything that helps us win and score more points. So we're going to see where everything goes. But, yeah, whatever it takes to win, I'm all for it.
I don't know that that's a strong commitment to exploring the possibility of turning over the play calling duties. And when there aren't that many plays to call, what difference does it really make? When the issue is more fundamental to the offense, not the menu of plays and as you pick them, but the actual quality and quantity. It's like the menu at the diner they went to in My Cousin Vinny, breakfast, lunch, dinner. There isn't a complicated array of choices for the play caller to make in Arizona. So, and then I was looking at the coaching staff. I don't know who he would turn it over to. He's got 2 passing game coordinators, Cam Turner and Spencer Whipple. He's got a run game coordinator in Sean Kugler. I don't know who he would say, here, you call the plays. I don't get the impression that he means it, that he's really considering it. And I don't think he's going to do it unless somebody tells him to do it. And I think Michael Bidwell understands, I'd like to think he understands, as we do, it's not an issue of calling plays. It's an issue of designing plays.
Yes.
It's an issue of staying ahead of what the other teams know are going to be the potential plays they're going to see in any given game.
Yeah, right. It's deeper rooted issues. You're exactly right. It's one where, if Kliff Kingsbury ever asked me and like, what do you do? I'd go, you got to get some people in that building on the offensive side of the ball that are from different offenses, that give you some fresh ideas and some different approaches about how you want to play. And I think that would be the thing, and I think that's what you're talking about there. There's so what the guy takes over a new play caller. It's still the same plays. You're exactly right. It's not like he's going to be bringing in his new flavor here in week 7 and go, scrap the playbook. I'm going to invent a new one here. That's not going to happen. So, yeah, they are what they are at this point. They just got to figure out how they want to play or how they're going to figure out how to play to win some of these football games. That's the biggest thing, and we'll see if they can do that against the Saints tonight. It'd be interesting. The Saints got some positive things working right now and have some issues as well. And that's where it'll be fun. That's where Thursday night, I know they're 2-4, but damn, there's pressure on both sides, both teams right here. This is kind of like it. You lose this and go 2-5. I want to be like, you maybe got like one more chance to go on a run here, but you're in deep trouble because you don't see these teams just running the table at the end of the year. They're not that type of quality.
You're creeping towards 6 or 7 losses before Halloween.
Right.
You got a problem.
Right.
You got to basically treat November and December like January. You got to win and win and win. And we see teams that do that from time to time, but you don't want to be put in that position where your back's against the wall, where you've got to basically run the table or, go 9-1 over your final 10 games to have a shot. You're right. Huge difference between 3-4 and 2-5. Hugely dramatic difference, and one of these teams is going to end up there barring a tie. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.